If you've attempted any form of electronics, you know that a solder sucker is essential. What happens when your solder sucker gets poorly? I'm Andrew Armstrong, welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab, and join me at the bench. I want to do some electronics today. I've got a wonderful kit to assemble, and that will be in a future video. However, my solder sucker is dead, and if you remember from one of the earlier videos, it was starting to drive me nuts. So I thought, why don't we basically have a look at a solder sucker and see how we can service it, because you'll want to clean yours up every now and then. So the end pops off, we know that much. The end pops off, and you can actually get new tips for them. So don't throw them out when the tips go, because you can buy new ones of those. And I believe the new ones are all silicone, not like this hard plastic, so you get a good seal. And then inside you'll have a piston, and that's going to be full of detritus. So get a piece of paper out, and I have one here, and just tap it out. And you'll see there'll be a bunch of stuff come out. In this case, there's not that much because I've already probably had to go at cleaning it. But, ooh, there's more. And I'm going to get a screwdriver. And I'm going to say just mash it. It's basically a large lump of all of the solder dust. Some of them are small filings, and others are almost just like basically vapor. It's amazing. But you'll collect a lot over the years. Obviously, it depends on how much solder you do, your sucking you do. It's not just going to fill overnight. And we're going to undo this screw on the back, and that holds the whole mechanism in. And on this one, it's the mechanism that's gummed up somehow. It's, again, show you, actually, it started working now that I've dismantled it. But let's keep going. Let's keep rolling with it. If you were lucky and it wasn't working and that's all you needed to do to fix it, I think you'd be doing well. So the mechanism will come out now. You can see it's loose in there. So what you've got to do is manhandle it, and out it pops. So that's nice and simple. Nice anodized tube. You get a lot of plastic ones and things these days, so they're all going to be similar in construction. And you can see there you've got the rubber, I guess it's a rubber washer. That's what's doing the sealing when you're firing this. And then there's a hard washer in front of that and one behind it to give it shape. So you can see it's a one-way valve. So when you push it down, this is going to bend that way. So it will go boop, and the air will go past, so it can go down. And then when you hit the trigger, it will push against this bigger washer, which will make it sit flatter and then seal itself up on the edge. And this part here is all there is to the mechanism that you're locking off when you push it down. So you're actually clicking it off in there. So whatever's wrong with mine, it would be in here. So I'm going to have to keep going with this if I want to get inside this part. To go that bit further, you're going to have to remove the circlip on the end. Now this can be achieved in a number of ways, but the way I like to do it is to get a trusty screwdriver. Where's it gone? Oh yeah, here. And then just take your screwdriver and try to get it into one of those little holes, and very gently, there it is, and do not lose it. So it's going to separate all the parts. So there's your bigger plastic, hard plastic washer, your soft plungery thing, and I'm guessing this felt washer can probably be replaced, but certainly while it's out, give it a clean because it's definitely dirty. Then you have your small one, and we're going to zoom out a little bit more, and there's your whole big old spring. We've got to disconnect that somehow. In fact, it's all being held in because there's an actual plastic, you can just see it in there, a bump stop, but with a bit of manhandling it should all come out. Oh, in fact it won't, because you can see there's actually another circlip in there that we'd have to get hold of. So I'm going to see if we can extract that spring first, and if not, we can just get that circlip out. In fact, I think that's probably simpler for now, and then worry about how you're going to get that circlip back in afterwards. So I'm just going to go the same technique, get the end of the screwdriver in there and give it a twist. A little twist, a flick of the wrist, and out the circlip comes. And out it comes indeed. So there's your two circlips. And we're out. It's very precise actually, this thing. I mean, if you look at it, go, oh, this is nicely made. Give it a little polish, give it a little rub over a polishy rag with it. So I'm going to leave this part aside, and this is everything else. This is the whole entire mechanism. And now that there's nothing in the middle of it, it should just dismantle, and there it does. Be very cautious because we need to remember how we get that back. And that has got a little gentle spring. Oop. There's your little metal disc. There's the bit I think that actually retains it, and then there's a spring. And that's the spring that works its way soft over the years. And you can see from the shaft, when you click it, you're actually clicking it against a round pin. So the round pin pushed through that. So if it's not clean, there's not much force on that clip, you could see how it could definitely slip. So I'm going to see though if I've got anything that might replace this spring, otherwise I'm going to have to bend it out. Naturally my spring collection could not be found when I needed to rely on it, so I am just going to re-stress this spring. I'm going to be a little bit careful with it because I really don't want to bend it too much. It's just a piece of wire at the end of the day. So that is, it's kind of distorted, but hopefully it will take form once it goes back in. So we're going to get this metal disc, pop that in there. That offers some light relief. It's feeling okay, I guess. Yeah. Why not? That's fine. Let's see if we can reassemble it. Now when you remember, when we dismantled it, this spring was wrapped around that. So I'm just seeing if it's possible to get the spring on again. This way. And it probably is. Yeah, I would say it definitely is. Just get in there. Ow! And it's gone. That went absolutely miles. That just flung miles. So I think it's always a good idea to get that circlip back in. Now it does appear there's two potential places it could go. Don't know why. Kind of confused. I think it was this one. Guess we'll know soon enough if it doesn't work properly. Reminds me of dismantling an air pistol. Not too dissimilar. There we go. Now it's all lashed against that circlip, and you can see, yes, fortunately it's not trying to fire off as vigorously. Oh, of course, there's a second. That's the second circlip for all of these. So yeah, that's the right order. And then you pop that one in there, and I'm going to give this one just a little rub down. It's a little pitted, but it's okay. Let's pop that in there. Pop that in there, and literally, you don't have to do this. This is like after maybe a decade of use. I mean, this is significant use on this thing. You're not going to have to do this very often. Just the normal, you know, maintenance I showed you earlier will be more than sufficient in most cases. And I guess if we want to be really kind, okay, what's this? This is a bit of white grease. We don't want white grease. We want some. I'm going to give it a little bit of silicone lubricant. I was going to spray some white grease, but I really don't think you want that. That's going to help a lot. And something you want to be careful of, things that use pistons and compression, be very careful of what kind of grease you get, because you can have it basically diesel in the tube and explode. And the last thing you want is one of these exploding out all over you. That's general advice, isn't it? And for anything, you do not want this exploding over you. There's no scenario where you want anything exploding over you. Oh my gosh! Did you see that? It's almost forcing itself out my hand. That's amazing. And remember, I didn't clean that mainspring. This is just because of the latch. It's latched and lubed. Yes, that works super well. And you can tell, watch, when you suck it on your hand, see how slow it is? It's really, it sucks. It sucks. So that means it's good. Thanks for watching. I wanted to show you this as well, because some people don't realise this and they sort of complain it's hard to clean the ends. When you push the plunger in like this, right, I'm pushing it in, look, you heard it click, it's locked in, but if you push it a little bit more, bink, bink, that pushes out the solder. So always bink when you reset it.